I wasted years trying to look rich. I ignored investing. I thought credit cards were free money. I made more money and somehow I stayed broke. If you're in your 20s, these mistakes can quietly cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars over your lifetime. The scary part, most people don't realize they're making these mistakes until it's too late. I wish someone told me this earlier. I spent a decade running on a financial treadmill, moving fast but going nowhere. We're going to break down the biggest money mistakes in your 20s so you don't have to learn the hard way like I did. Looking back, I remember a specific phase of my life that I now call my dumbest money phase. At 23, I landed my first decent paying job. Suddenly, the numbers in my bank account were higher than they'd ever been. Instead of building a foundation for financial freedom, I immediately started looking for ways to get rid of that money. I bought things to impress people who didn't even care about me. I chased status because I thought that's what success looked like. I told myself that investing could wait until I was older and had real money. I was suffering from massive lifestyle inflation and a complete lack of financial literacy. Looking back, the problem wasn't my income, it was my mindset. I was trapped in a cycle of immediate gratification, and if I hadn't snapped out of it, I'd still be living paycheck to paycheck today, despite earning a high salary. The first major mistake is trying to look successful too early. This is the ultimate wealth killer. People spend their 20s buying the image of wealth instead of building actual wealth. We see the curated lives on social media, the designer clothes, the expensive gadgets, the luxury vacations, and we feel this intense pressure to match that energy. You feel like you need to reward yourself for working hard, but financing a $50,000 car when you're making $60,000 a year isn't a reward, it's a prison sentence. Think about the opportunity cost. That $500 a month car payment, if invested into the stock market instead, could become hundreds of thousands of dollars over a few decades. When you choose the shiny object today, you are literally stealing from your future self. There is a massive difference between being rich looking and being actually financially free. One is a mask you wear to impress strangers. The other is the security of knowing you never have to worry about a bill again. Stop buying things you don't need with money you don't have to impress people you don't like. This leads directly into mistake number 2, waiting too long to start investing. Most people massively underestimate the power of compound interest because it doesn't look like much in the beginning. Your 20s are your most important investing decade, not because you have the most money, but because you have the most time. Small investments now are worth significantly more than large investments later. Let's look at two people. Person A starts investing $200 a month at age 22. Person B waits until they're 32 to start, but invests $500 a month. Even though person B is putting in more than double the money every month, person A will likely end up with a much larger portfolio by the time they retire. That 10-year head start is a superpower that you can never buy back. You don't need $1,000 to start, you need $20 and a brokerage account. The goal is to build the habit of wealth building early. If you wait until you have more money, you'll find that the more money never feels like enough because your expenses will have grown alongside your paycheck. Urgency is the key here. Every month you wait is a month of compounding you've lost forever. Mistake number 3 is lifestyle inflation. This is the silent killer of dreams. For most people, every time they get a raise, their life gets a spending upgrade. You get a promotion, so you move into a bigger apartment. You get a bonus, so you buy a better phone. You start making more, so you start eating out at nicer restaurants and adding more subscriptions to your monthly bill. Most people don't get richer when their income increases. Their expenses just catch up. This is why you see doctors and lawyers who are stressed about money. They've inflated their lifestyle to the point where they are just as trapped as someone making minimum wage. Have you noticed your spending rises every time your income does? This is driven by dopamine. We get a hit of excitement from the new purchase, but it fades within weeks, leaving us looking for the next upgrade. To avoid this, you have to be intentional. Keep your big 3 expenses, housing, transportation, and food, as low as possible while your income grows. The gap between what you earn and what you spend is where your freedom lives. If that gap doesn't grow as your salary grows, you're just running faster on the same treadmill. Now, before we move on, I want to pause. The next mistake is the one that probably cost me the most money over the long term. Most people know the first few mistakes I've mentioned, but almost nobody talks about this next one. If you can master this, your financial trajectory changes completely. Mistake number 4 is not learning high-income skills. In your 20s, people spend years trying to save $5 on a latte instead of learning how to earn an extra $5,000 $10 a month. Frugality has a limit. You can only cut your expenses to zero, but your income potential is theoretically infinite. Instead of obsessing over tiny savings, you should be obsessing over skill stacking. Skills like sales, content creation, coding, digital marketing, or mastering AI tools are the currency of the modern economy. Communication skills and leadership are also high-income skills that pay dividends forever. The internet has given us the ultimate leverage. You can learn these skills for free or for a very low cost online. When you focus on increasing your value to the marketplace, you move from a mindset of scarcity to a mindset of abundance. Stop trying to shrink your life to fit your income and start expanding your skills to fund the life you want. Failure 5 is having horrible friends and money. Environment discreetly controls financial behavior. If everyone around you accepts debt, you will too. Invisible peer pressure will wear you down if your pals are always going out and spending money they don't have on bottle service or luxury clothes. Your spending becomes like others. When everyone you know practices YOLO spending, it's impossible to save for a down payment or investment portfolio. You must discover folks with similar financial aspirations. You don't have to forsake your old friends, but you should be conscious of their wallet impact. The sole person in your group seeking to build wealth faces an uphill struggle. Find places, online or offline, where financial discipline and wealth growth are the norm. Sixth mistake, thinking you have plenty of time. A psychological trap. You say, I'm only 24, I'll worry about my finances when I'm 30. But time passes faster than expected. Your 20s determine your financial trajectory. Habits compound like money. You don't wake up disciplined at 30 after 10 years of overspending and ignoring responsibility. 10 years of terrible behaviors will define you at 30. Delaying financial education is the costliest option. Every year you delay is a year you lose independence. You must remember that your future self will live with the consequences of your choices today. Quickly review some bonus blunders to keep things rolling. First, neglecting emergency funds. A car repair or medical bill shouldn't put you in debt. Second, credit card debt. Paying 20% interest is ruinous. Third, betting speculation. Stop trying to get rich quick with meme coins or options without a foundation. Fourth, buying emotional coping tools. Going to the mall when agitated creates more tension later. Fifth, lack of spending tracking. You can't direct your money if you don't know where it goes. Last, financial advice from broke people. A family or acquaintance doesn't necessarily know how to manage money. So how do we fix this? It starts with simple routines. Don't be a financial genius. Just stop making these costly blunders early. Automate savings and investments first. You won't miss money that leaves your account before you see it. Second, track every dollar for 30 days. Awareness alone will alter your behavior. Third, learn throughout your life. Invest more in high-income skills than entertainment. Finally, spend mindfully. After paying your future self, you can buy things you love. No need for perfection. Just be consistent. Your 20s are about building a foundation to be the most liberated person in the room for the rest of your life, not about being rich. Which mistake are you having trouble with? What was your worst money blunder that taught you something? Share in the comments. I'll read and respond to as many as I can so we may learn from each other. This should help you act today, not tomorrow. Your future self awaits you.